Good morning, everyone. My name is Anthony, and I am the host of TheLostSanctuary. I am currently working as an accountant, and I've been in the industry for a little over 9 years. I'm also a licensed CPA in New York, and today we're actually going to dive into episode 2 of Reddit posts. Let's look at the first question. So the first question is, am I the bad person to refuse to go to my mother-in-law's house unless she confirms 2 weeks in advance to avoid that she refuses us last minute, as already happened? So this was actually an interesting story. So basically what happened is that we have the wife who actually, kind of goes out of her way and actually, prepares the guest bedroom. She'll pack her things. Like, she'll do her best to actually, meet with her mother-in-law, either at her house or meet at their own house. So it's a very touching story where, this wife, she actually, she did her best. Like, she literally would pack her bags. She would do her thing. She would do whatever it took in her power to actually meet the mother-in-law. But the issue is that the mother-in-law, she had as the user mentioned, it was like a power trip, where the mother-in-law would at the last minute cancel, say they can't come, or she would blatantly not come to their house. And I just want to talk about this quickly, and in the sense of, when people make time for you or make the effort to really try and connect with you, it's important to respect that. And what I mean by that is we have so much going on in our lives where, we have work, we have family, we have our own sorts of problems, depression sometimes, we have anxiety. There's so many factors that make us, sometimes just not be able to do things. And just having just the person actually making the time for you, it's important to respect that, I feel. And it's important to really understand what people are going through sometimes. So if someone makes the time out for you, please respect that. That's very important. It's important to really acknowledge the sentiment behind it. So basically the user was asking, am I the bad person for wanting my mother-in-law to give me some advance notice, whether it's to come to their place or to go to go to the mother-in-law's place. And I'm going to say in this case that you are not the bad person in this regard, because you did make the attempt to actually, make the mother-in-law feel comfortable in your house by making the guest bedroom. You went out of your way to pack your bags in a hurry, and sometimes she would make things last minute. So I think you are not the bad person in this scenario, and never feel like you're the bad person. You really are genuinely trying to connect with your mother-in-law, and I respect that from the bottom of my heart. So I would just say in this case, keep going, keep doing what you're doing. You have a kind heart, and I just want to wish you all the best. I hope you have a blessed day. So the next one is, am I the bad person for abandoning my mom and her kids? So this is actually a very interesting one, because it actually connects a little with me sometimes. Sometimes there's just this one person in the household who does a great amount of things. I'm not saying that, I do most of the things, or this person does most of the things, but maybe they do. But there's always that one person who just genuinely wants to help people, and sometimes they go out their way to help people. So I am that type of person where I will effectively sacrifice myself for my family, where if they need something, I will literally I'll sometimes I won't sleep. I'll sometimes go to, I'll literally go to the middle of the night to the hospital for my niece and nephew, for example, or or if my parents need some money to go on a trip, I'll gladly spend some money for them to take a nice trip. Or if we want to go to a nice restaurant, or manage the administration of the house, whatever is really needed, I tend to go out and just do it. But sometimes, it takes a toll on you after a while. And I think it's important to acknowledge that, the sacrifices that this individual has made to not just care for himself, but it looks like almost 6 people in the house. So this is something that's very, it's a lot for one person, especially someone who wants to make a better version of themselves. It looks like this user wanted to play tennis. They're struggling with work. They have school. They have so many things on their plate that it's important to really understand the things that people are going through before you decide to just kind of throw more on their plate. They already have so much going on in their lives that, you really have to give the person the benefit of the doubt that they need their time to actually grow into the person they want to become. So it's important to really acknowledge this and really just give the person the ability to do that, because the same opportunities that our parents or other people have, we need to provide these opportunities to everyone and really acknowledge really the sacrifice that people sometimes make for others, and also give them the benefit of the doubt, give them the opportunity to grow, and really let them, become a better version of themselves through these activities. So I want to say for this second user, I do not think you're a bad person at all. Sometimes we do sometimes need to be just like, think about our own needs as well. I know that it's very easy to think about only the needs of others, because I'm falling into the same trap myself. And now in my current life is where I'm actually starting to think about my own needs and what I need to accomplish now. So I think overall, thank you for posting this question, and I really appreciate your time. So yeah, am I the bad person for not sharing my inheritance? So this is actually a very interesting one. So I've never actually had to deal with this myself, but I really found it touching, kind of the whole story about the grandma, where the grandma was kind of forced into a situation that she didn't want to be in, where she wanted to go to college, for example, but she was actually forced to actually marry someone that originally she didn't want to marry. So I think it's important to really acknowledge that, sometimes this is something that I myself have gone through myself, where there are things that I want to do, but sometimes there's a driving force behind things where other people will try to influence your actions, or at one point even does influence your actions. And it's important to really acknowledge that, people suffer sometimes when things don't go their way, especially like things that they dream of doing. So the grandma in this case, she wanted to actually like go to college. She didn't want to marry into a certain family, but it's kind of like it's hard because family sometimes feels like they know what's best for you. But in all honesty, only you know what's best for you. You're in control of your destiny, in the sense of acknowledging what you want to do in your life. And it's not that you can, and of course I'm not saying that you could effectively just do whatever you want, but at the same time, in the sense of like, definitely, with a grain of salt, just think about like what you want to do in life, but also have a backup plan. So, for example, let's say I want to go to college, just make sure you're also maybe doing a side job or something, or to earn some income, because it's important to first make yourself stable, and then you can achieve your dreams. You can achieve whatever you are wanting to do, because stability is so important for you to have some financial, like for you to feel financially stable. That's very important. And I'm not saying to anyone out there that they shouldn't follow their dreams, but just make sure that you're financially stable before you start your next venture. And then the sky's the limit. You definitely have a lot of potential. And I want to say that I felt kind of bad because the granddaughter was basically the one who left her with everything. So basically, at the time when the grandmother was going through her worst, this granddaughter is the one who actually got her through that. So it's important to acknowledge that this granddaughter actually helped the grandmother through this tough time, and people appreciate that. And I feel like if I were in the same shoes as the grandmother, I would probably do the same. Like if there was someone who really picked me up at my lowest point, I think I would probably leave them the whole inheritance as well. Definitely, it's important to acknowledge and appreciate the people who support you, and then of course pay them in dividends, whether it's an inheritance through money or through lots of love. I think that's important for everyone. So to this user, I say you're not a bad person. So the next one is actually, am I the bad person for kicking my son out and making him live with my brother? So this is a very interesting story because I actually went through this myself, where when I was young, I wasn't the nicest kid, I'm gonna say. I did lash out just like most kids. Most kids, you lash out when you're young because you're going through so much emotional change. You're going through so much different emotions as you grow up, as you hit puberty, as you hit different sections of your life that sometimes you yourself just don't understand the feelings that you're going through. So it's important to really acknowledge that when you're a parent. So basically the story, just to summarize it a little bit for you guys, is basically talks about a 16-year-old who was lashing out, breaking things, and then the poor thing was sent to the mom's brother, who was in the military, from what I read in the story. And it looks like he wasn't being treated the best because maybe it was too strict, and it's not something that the kid was used to. So it's important to acknowledge that sometimes when kids lash out, it's not because they want to, it's because they're going through some type of emotion that they just don't understand. So it's important in these times to really mentor your kids, really hear them out, really understand like what's the root cause of this issue. Why are they lashing out? Why are they considering, why are they considering, like, why are they breaking things? Why are they lashing out? Why are they being like, maybe having violent tendencies or doing things that are erratic? It's important to really just, sit down your kid and to really talk to them and really acknowledge that, acknowledge their feelings, because, it's not easy. It's not easy to just like, just go through all these emotions, and sometimes you just need some support from your core family, from mentors, from friends, and really just develop a safe zone for this person and really just hear them out. That's the best thing you can do for someone, is really hear them out, really understand their thought process, really understand what they're going through, because you never know, you yourself might be in the same situation, and this person might be the one who actually like takes you out of it. So it's important to really understand. So to this user, I'm gonna say like, yeah, you're not a bad person, but in the sense of, I know what at the time it felt like the right decision, but I'm gonna say like, I feel like it was technically, you're not a bad person, but the decision that you did, I don't support it, sadly. Where you just at the time were a little, maybe you felt a little frustrated because so many things were going on. But once you actually sat your son down, which I saw from the post, you actually saw that your son was actually going through some trauma, some deep emotions that they were going through as a teenager. So that's really the main thing. So you yourself are not a bad person. I just don't support the decision where you sent your son away, which, even though I understand what you went through, and I appreciate that you actually made amends and actually helped your son to get out of it. So many blessings to you and your family. It looks like you guys reconnected, and that's the best thing you can do. Just really reconnect with your family and just really just show that you care for each other, because family is important in this world, and it's usually the only pillar we have sometimes against all the odds that we face in the world sometimes. So I just want to say that, and many blessings to you. So this will end this episode 2 of the Reddit discussion on the questions. I'll make sure to post another video on this next week. So I just want to say that if you really enjoyed our content, please feel free to check out our website here and our socials down here. Also, leave your comments. Definitely let me know if there's something that you want to see, something you want me to talk about, anything you want me to touch on. I'll definitely respond to as many comments as I can. Thank you, everyone out there. I'm wishing you all the best, and adios.